Hello, it's Trekker Joe, and this is probably a little unusual. Let me turn my lights off. It's probably a little unusual for you. As you see drones buzzing about my head. I've decided, because I've been playing a lot of Space Engineers, that it was kind of unfair. So I gotta say a couple of things first. So, when I record, I kind of get random bursts of energy sometimes. Or in this case, I just wanted to play Space Engineers for some reason. And there's also like the fact that I'm in a situation where I can't necessarily rely on being there 24/7. And Space Engineers is a good game to like put down and pick back up and just have running throughout the day. This is not how you should play your games, by the way. Honestly, you should have a clear idea of what you're going to do and not play it like Factorio. But this is what I'm doing, so there's that. Look at me go. Yeah, that's the M1. And of course I have one called the Go, which is grinding up a ship, as you can see by the components it has in its inventory. So yeah, so this room is just sort of a balcony so that I can see what's going on, and I decided to make this my central control area for the PAM operated drones. As you can see, I have a control station here, but it's not nearly as crazy. Oh jeez. Oh dear. That's nice. So yeah, let me just do a quick recharge. So I have a new area back here, and that's just for manufacturing, things like that. So yeah. And as well as the fact that I have a new script called IQ, which is really just a godsend. It's made by JTerp. You can look it up on the workshop. It's IQ like Q, like a queue of items to be produced. That's how you find it. I have my two airlocks here, which I probably didn't have the second one the first time I showed the base off. And I made the reactor room look a little nicer. But then here comes the real substantial things that I have updated. And this is also on the new patch now. So this was an old world, but now it's on the new patch. It's also messed with some of the ore generation a bit, so there's that. As you can see, I have the new ladders to prove that I actually have the new patch. As you can see here, the docking area now has a spotlight. I tripled this. I tripled my refineries, doubled my assemblers, and sextupled my storage. Actually, no, I septupled it. And I have hydrogen storage now, as well as oxygen storage. So that's good. I started work on a fighter, but then since abandoned it because I wanted to get a grinder drone up. So yeah, so if I fly about, as you can see here, my original miner, which I have heavily upgraded, what the? That's not finished. That's not okay. I'm going to have to fix that. I never even noticed that. I think maybe it got grinded by the grinder drone. That's what happened. The grinder drone attacked it. Oh my god, that's actually funny. That's actually kind of funny. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Because Mo doesn't deserve to have a grinder drone attack it. I'm surprised it didn't retreat though, because that should have counted as being damaged. Of course I have a grinder drone. It's actually malfunctioning here. It's going to stay here and get stuck, but as you can see from this ship and how it's been perfectly locked off, well, almost perfectly, it does actually work, and it works fairly well. And I'm going to be reconfiguring it after this. Also, my Stingray drone has been updated. In fact, if I turn my HUD on, it now displays its fuel and the fuel, ammo, and the runtime on its antenna. I thought that was important information, so I have it displaying. And it makes it pretty useful. I can actually lock to it. And of course, I made a lot of changes to the code. And I do kind of want to explain it. So yeah, I also have captured quite a few craft, and this is actually going to be the one complaint I have about this patch. Because yeah, so one of the things they said was more encounters and things, and I'm only assuming this is a vanilla encounter because I do have a number of mods, and actually, it probably isn't a vanilla. Like, this probably isn't vanilla, never mind. Which, by the way, this is a nice ship. I'm not scrapping this one. I have like a gremlin and that yellow ship that I have been grinding down. And I had a stalker drone that I decided to grind as well. Because, well, it was a stalker drone and it was just this Hulk. And I decided I didn't really want to rework it. Yeah. So yeah, but this ship, I like it. I'm going to take it for pleasure cruises or take it out to different planets. It has space for another seat, I think. I could add a couple more seats in there if I wanted. And I probably will. And yeah, despite having no real armament, it looks like a pretty nice ship to fly around in. And it maneuvers really nicely. There isn't really all that much going on. Aside from that, what I've already mentioned. Everything is going and working around the clock with a little intervention by me. I have the defense drone, which seems to be doing okay. One issue I'm getting actually with Lucas's mod is that I actually get the... So like the early game was really difficult. But now I just mostly get the large encounter. And the thing is, the issue with the boss encounters is that they shouldn't count towards the threat. They really shouldn't. Like, what I'm guessing is going on with that is the boss encounter is overriding all the other spawns just because I have too many ships moving about and like my faction's too big, so it's like, we need to spawn something big and dangerous that will bring them to their knees. And then it's an optional boss. Sometimes I'll get a hacker drone, sometimes I'll get some strike drones. And those strike drones actually do real damage to me when they send them. Send more of those, please. But no, the exiled engineer, whatever they are, decided not to do that. Instead, they wanted me to attack this crazy, overpowered ship that I have no actual weapons to fight back with for. Why not just send a hive ship my way and siege me? I thought it was really interesting when I got sieged that one time I was trying to set up a mining drone. And the fact that it barely got out there without being completely destroyed was a miracle. I was quite happy about that. But yeah, but as you can tell, it kind of creates stories, and I just want the mod to work perfectly. So I don't know, maybe I'll talk with Lucas or something and see if I can like diagnose what's going on. This is an old save, so that might be what's going on, honestly. It might not understand its regions or territories very well. And there are still some things broken in the mod as well, and as well as the fact that I have other mods, so Maybe I should try disabling the other encounter mods. Anyway, there is one thing I kind of want to talk about that wasn't related to Space Engineers, although I'm inevitably going to distract since I'm in Space Engineers right now. The thing I want to talk about is Stellaris. Unfortunately, with Stellaris, I did say that I wanted to complete it, but I'm also realizing the patch it's on is way out of date. I output the videos way too slowly. I just picked a bad time for it. That's not only that, I've noticed that people don't really watch those videos, so I'm thinking of completely stopping the series. And I have heard a lot of YouTubers that I like say this about series that I liked. So yeah, so this is why I'm giving you guys a chance to vote. Whatever the vote's outcome will be, I will try to honor it as best as I can. With the recording issues I have in Stellaris, it's still going to be really slow. In the description, you will find a link. In the link, there's going to be a poll. And the poll is probably going to last for, I'm going to make it a week, and if not a week, as long as I possibly can make it. And what I want you guys to do is go in there and vote. I'm going to have various things that I could try to do with the series. One thing I might do is, so for example, I could just stop the series, in which case there would only be 2 series on my channel for a while. And then I'm probably going to choose to have one be a background series, and probably start Space Engineers, because I actually really love this game, and it has gone so far, and I really love computer programming, or in this case just scripting the programmable block. I haven't actually made a proper computer program. I just learned how to code using Space Engineers. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool that Space Engineers actually taught me how to code. So there's that. Of course, it wouldn't be a coding series, it would probably be a survival series. And I probably wouldn't make the code the forefront, because code, as far as content goes, it's really boring unless it's the entire point of your video. And this is more of a gameplay channel, so I wouldn't get too deep into the coding aspect of things, but I will use scripts quite a bit and have things automated and just see how far I can go with just vanilla resources. In the end, I want to actually be able to take down one of these boss encounters that I mentioned earlier. I went on a rabbit trail about Space Engineers because I like this game and I'm in this game, so I like to talk about it. But yeah, so I could just remove Stellaris, start this as a new series, but I probably would wait a bit of time because I have things like I'm going to be moving and things like that, which is part of the reason why I can't record as much or do as much editing. And it's also one of the reasons why I kind of want to just drop the Stellaris now. Of course, there's this other thing. So I want to finish that playthrough, but it's on an out-of-date update. So would you watch it if I updated it? And would you watch it if I used, I don't know, if I used some of the DLC, like the Machine Uprising, or the Utopia, or Titans? I don't actually remember. I could buy some DLC, I do have a gift card for that, if that's what people say they will watch, but I won't invest in that if people won't watch it. It's just not worth my time. I don't actually enjoy the series all that much. That's basically all I have to say. And that's all that's going on. Now I'm going to fix the grinder drone while the end screen plays. So, see you next time.